And it is a good morning. You're listening to Power Talks with Melody and Beth Ann in the morning, where talk is real, truth is in the talk, and there is power in the truth. And good morning to you, Melody. Good morning, listeners.
Good morning. What a great day.
A great
Every
day.
day is great, but
it is. Every day is great. It's all a gift if we're still present.
I open my eyes and I praise the Lord.
Read the obits and I wasn't in it. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, today is the first day of spring, and I don't want to disappoint anyone, so I did find a poem to share for spring, and the title of the poem is What the Robin Told, is what it says. The wind told the grasses, and the grasses told the trees. The trees told the bushes, and the bushes told the bees. The bees told the robin, and the robin sang out clear, wake up, spring is here. Happy spring.
Happy spring.
Happy spring. I did want to talk about that just a little bit. Today will be the equinox, and you can balance that egg at about 12:15 p.m. Now, I don't know if that's your time or my time. But
probably my time.
Yeah, they're all about the Easterners.
It's all about the Easterners, yes.
They don't even know where the eggs come from. So anyway, that's supposed to happen around 12:15 is when you can balance your egg.
Okay.
Today.
All right.
So I want you at 12:15, take a little break, balance the egg, take a picture with your phone, and send it to me.
Okay. Drum roll, please.
And today, we might get into that a little bit more later if you want to, but today is National Ag Day. Mm-hmm. And it is National Ag Week, and it is to recognize and celebrate the abundance provided by our agriculture, the farmers and the ranchers and the producers. And anyway, so today it gets very little said about it. And I thought, it's the first day of spring. It's National Ag Day. Now, if you ever use Google, when you go onto Google and it's some kind of a special day, they have their little Google all fixed up to commemorate that day. Nothing. It's just plain old Google today. So they're not acknowledging the first day of spring, and they're not acknowledging Agriculture Day either. At least not yet. Not yet. I don't know. That's kind of something I thought. Usually I see something and I think, well, what day is it? What are they trying to make a picture of? But today it's just a regular old Google.
Well, that's because we're getting snow here tomorrow, so it's kind of hard to celebrate spring when we're expected to have snow. So short-lived, it'll be gone by Thursday, but it's still kind of interesting to there's many places that get snow into April, May, and June too. It's not something out of the norm, but. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to some news. I guess there's been multiple injuries reported in a shooting at a St. Mary's High School in Maryland. There's been multiple people that were injured this morning. The school is in lockdown. The incident was contained. I guess the shooter is in serious or critical condition, so not yet dead. It's not clear how many people were injured. The school is located about 60 miles southeast of Washington, D.C., and deputies were called to the school just before 8 a.m. This school is actually on the other side of the Chesapeake from where I live. I'm way on the, pretty far away from that, so I didn't want to be close to D.C. when I moved.
When you moved.
But so there's not a lot of information coming out yet. Of course, the White House is monitoring the situation, and it comes 4 days before the National March for Our Lives. It's a rally that is, so I'm not even going to go there yet. As far as the student safety inspired by last month's Marjorie Stoneman Douglas shooting in Florida. It's
been yeah, we'll see what what this is really about, I guess, as it unfolds and as they learn more and they release more. It just happened this morning, so I barely have anything about it, kind of like what we just barely know what's happened. You had a little bit more in your information than I had. So anyway, we're prayers for those people right now, prayers of what's going on. And I tell you, we are in a broken world for sure. And, we had another bombing, had a FedEx bomb. That's scary. This person, they thought for a while, not that was good, but, they thought for a while he was targeting, or she, whichever the case may be, targeting minorities, the Hispanic and the black. But after the one they had on Sunday, they've decided, no, it's not that. It's just a random attacks on whoever. And now this is in this FedEx building. It's just, it's kind of scary. They can just set a bomb anywhere. And, they said the tripwire, we talked about that yesterday, was, barely noticeable. So tripwires and bombs in FedEx trucks or warehouses and processings, whatever they could call them. Anyway, it's kind of scary.
And the package wasn't being mailed to Austin.
Oh, where was it going to?
It was going to Austin.
Oh, it was. I thought you said it wasn't. Okay.
No,
yeah,
it
so
was
still
going
the same.
to Austin.
Still the same target as far as the city or the area.
Yes. And just like the one yesterday and today, there's nails and shrapnel and all kinds of stuff inside it to cause the most damage possible. So, I don't know what else to say about that.
It's just kind of scary. I kind of remember the Unabomber, and every time there was something that went off, it's totally innocent and unsuspecting, and for lack of a better word, boom. It's a life-changing event. Of course, an automobile accident is the same way, or a massive heart attack, unexpected, I guess, is the same way. But this is an attack. This is an attack on innocent people. Whether they're leaving them on a doorstep, they've got tripwires. That was on a not a highway, but anyway, that was, and now this in the FedEx, it's just, people have got to beware. They've got to be very, very careful. And I'm sure that community is just, on pins and needles.
Yes, I can imagine, and I don't remember much about the Unabomber, who he actually targeted, if there was a specific group that he targeted. A lot of them were universities, officials, and so forth. This is just random, I believe, unless they really haven't given out much. There really hasn't given enough information on those that are being injured. When you have a tripwire, that could be anybody. That's what changed their direction of thinking, at least in the news. That's what they said last evening or Sunday evening, that he seemed to be targeting the Hispanic and the black areas, but now it's with the tripwire that was anybody could have gotten that, and so now they think it's just random. He's just out there to cause damage and injure people and kill people. It's just unreal that somebody has that much hate in their heart. We talked about hate yesterday at Jim Carrey's heart. He was just like consumed with his hate. I guess this person is too. Yeah, we are. Yeah. Well, look how much we hate little babies.
Oh my goodness. I went to a Vitae banquet last night, which is a fundraiser, and the speaker last night was Kirk Cameron. And he gave his testimony. It was really, really inspiring, really nice, heartwarming. He was an atheist when he was younger. And he gave his testimony of how he came to salvation, how he came to know the Lord. And then when Vitae gets up and they talk about the differences that they're making. And they really are a great organization. And I would encourage anyone who has not heard of them to visit their website, and it's just simply vitaefoundation.org. And Vitae is VITAE, which stands for life. there are 3,000 babies aborted every day. Can you think about that? And I had an article a week and a half ago, I think it was, where 76 million babies have been murdered since 1973. Now think about that. That is they were talking about the population of New York or some of these big cities, think about what we have done as a nation. And, but anyway, they are making a difference, and the donations to them go to help these young mothers they do a marketing, right brain thinking thing, and they market so that when those young girls, try to do a search on a Planned Parenthood or pregnancy, they've done some marketing and they know how to get theirs to come up, and they give these girls hope, and they let them know that there is a choice, that abortion isn't their only choice. They go to Planned Parenthood, that this is the way to take care of this is all you can do. And so anyway, I thought it was very interesting, and it was a good night. It was a good night.
Which is a good thing. Well, Mississippi, the governor did sign the bill yesterday. It was a closed ceremony, and but his comment was released that they are saving more of the unborn than any state in America. And what better thing can we do? And that is
amen.
Yes, amen. So, pregnancies resulting from rape and incest aren't exempted. The law's only exemptions are those two.
Take the mother's life.
It just says pregnancies resulting from rape and incest aren't exempted.
Okay.
So it doesn't say any. I mean, that's So the restrictions kick in about 2 weeks before those of states whose 20-week bans begin at conception will probably be sued in about a half an hour.
Yeah, that's what they said yesterday. Planned Parenthood was already on the rampage.
And he said, that'll be fine with me. It'll be worth fighting over. So God bless them for standing up and doing something about it instead of just talking about it. So kudos to them, and God bless the state.
Amen. Amen. Well, let's hope some others follow suit and get brave, to save life. I mean, when you talk about 3,000 babies every single day, that is astronomical.
Yeah. Yeah, and they said that under the state of Mississippi, the suit says that the clinic performed 78 abortions in 2017 when the fetus was identified at being 15 weeks or older. And that's out of 2,500 abortions performed statewide, mostly at the clinic. They were, Mississippi previously tied with North Carolina for the nation's strictest abortion limits at 20 weeks. So they've done something, and they became the
leader. They are leading the way. They are leading the way to life, and we need leaders like that. And it'll be a great day when we put Planned Parenthood out of business, and we will put them out of business, as they were saying last night, not through legislation, but through education. The more people know, the more they realize what is really taking place, the less they will choose Planned Parenthood. And I hear music. We're headed into a break. Your calls are welcome at 717-300-1218, 717-300-1218. You're listening to Power Talks, and Melody and Beth Ann will be right back.
Hear it first on FirstAmendmentRadio.com and FirstAmendmentRadio.net. Gold and silver is tremendously undervalued. Global demand vastly exceeds mine supply by more than 60% annually. There is little in the financial world more certain than a coming explosion in the prices of gold and silver. The U.S. dollar continues to lose value and respect as the world's reserve currency. Our nation faces challenges on many fronts, and a day doesn't pass without another economist bringing forth warnings of impending economic calamity. There has never been a better time than right now to acquire physical gold and silver. Discount Gold and Silver Trading was founded on the principles of truth and honesty. We believe in providing a quality product, quality service, and most importantly, competitive pricing. We provide all forms of precious metals, including American gold, silver, platinum, and rare investment and circulated coins. Silver bars, rounds, and 90% silver bags are on hand for the silver investor. Gold self-directed IRAs are available. Call Discount Gold and Silver Trading at 1-800-375-4188. Toll free, that's 1-800-375-4188.
Visit crosstheborder.org, CROSS, crosstheborder.org, to get your print, EPUB, or PDF version of the book, The Rapture Will Be Canceled. That's crosstheborder.org.
I know you all want answers, and believe me, so do I, and I'll do my best to get them.
Despite Nicolas Cage's promise to do his best to get left behind rapture answers for us, don't hold your breath. Not everyone believes Left Behind is true prophecy. Some may even regard as conspiratorial the mainstream re-release of the Left Behind movie with actor Nicolas Cage portraying the main character as an attempt to further reinforce in the minds of all this perception of false prophecy in order to condition the masses for the play about to begin. If you want true Bible prophecy answers, get the book, The Rapture Will Be Canceled. The author exposes the Latin rapture origin, the 7-year tribulation deception, true Bible revelation of Daniel's 70 weeks, the abomination of desolation, the restrainer, America in the Revelation, the image of the beast and the mark of the beast, and the truth about God's chosen people, and so much more about Bible prophecy. This book will shatter the Left Behind paradigm of future events. Get the book, The Rapture Will Be Canceled. Visit crosstheborder.org, CROSS, crosstheborder.org, to get your print, EPUB, or PDF version of the book, The Rapture Will Be Canceled. That's crosstheborder.org.
Years ahead of the dominant media, FirstAmendmentRadio.com and FirstAmendmentRadio.net.
Short time, I was kidding Melody at the break. I said, "What else have we got? We've pretty much gone through our news."
We can go back to poems now.
We could go back. I told her I could read my poem again. She said, "Well, I wasn't listening the first time." So.
Yes.
I know. I tell on you. You know I do.
Yeah. Well, I was
out every time.
I was in the middle of something. I always pay attention.
With researching.
I
will say that. She was researching.
You outed me. But anyway, Facebook drops. Facebook. You know, okay, Facebook drops. Their shares drop. There's the whole weekend. Yeah, how much?
$40 billion.
$40 billion, you know. But, you know, all weekend long, it was all about Facebook. Their connection to the Cambridge Analytica was alleged to have improperly gained access to data of more than 50 million Facebook users. Hello, you're on the internet. I mean, why is this a shock? You know, do I agree with it? No. But, I mean, anyway, but shares of Facebook, they opened down 3% this morning. They fell as much as 8% yesterday. They're also being investigated by the UK officials as far as alleged mishandling of data. And I guess the U.S. FTC Commission, they're also investigating whether the use of personal data from 50 million Facebook users by this company violated a consent decree the tech company signed with the agency in 2011. And the reason that they're really after this is because Kushner, made a deal with them during the campaign and so forth. It shows, and I mean, that's why they're all after this. They're just they're trying to find something. I think a little bit more deeper is why they're going after Facebook. But there was a lot of turmoil for Facebook. The research firm was alleged to have improperly gained access to 50 million users. I mean, they're all old people anyway, because the young people are moving away from Facebook. It's all grandparents showing pictures of the grandchildren. They're going to where are they going? Instagram and some of these other places. As far as the youth, they don't use Facebook as much, and I think a lot of that was because their parents were spying on them. But anyway,
well, and I think that might be another thing, since the youth aren't using it, that Facebook came out with a week or two ago that they're going to start targeting younger children to bring them onto social media. We're talking like younger children, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, where the teenagers and the youth are getting away from it, using Snapchat and Instagram and all of those that are just, right now, and they're getting away from the Facebook. Facebook's a lot of work. It is. I have a Facebook page for CSE Talk Radio, and it is a lot of work to keep things going on there. I just put news up there. Is what I do. The articles and things that I find, you can't possibly share them all on the air in 1 hour or 2 hours, and so I post different news articles and stuff on there. But it's time consuming. It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. So, but that's a big deal, and that took down a lot of the other tech stocks yesterday. And we had a 300-point drop in the stock market yesterday. But again, to me, it's another sign of just how fragile everything is. I mean, this is definitely focused on Facebook, but yet it pulled the whole sector down. And so we've seen markets are coming back a little bit today. And, there's been all kinds of predictions that March was the month that everything was going to fall apart, and, the dollar was going to be, and we got 10 more days.
It's not over yet.
It's not over yet, but and again, I don't know when it's going to happen. No one else does either. I mean, we can look at various things, and certainly, the volatility that we've seen, it should have happened a month ago. I can't believe the markets are still functioning with the degree of volatility that we have, with the degree of dysfunction from around the world, and the changes in leadership, the changes in central bankers of China, and Abe in Japan is, he's getting involved in, they're going after him for corruption charges, and these are all, countries where they've been stimulating their economies just to keep the system flowing, hopefully, and they're hoping that eventually, the economics will take hold, and they can start cutting back on their quantitative easing, but that's not the case. These central banks are between rocks and hard places, and it's just like ours. We're going to be going through a second phase of tax cuts, when in the past month, since September, when they canceled the debt ceiling, we're $1+ trillion deeper in debt in 6 months. Doesn't that faze anybody? They're looking for a second area of tax cuts, which would be, it's like, how are they going to get through additional tax cuts when in 6 months you increase your debt by $1+ trillion? We're now over $21 trillion in debt. That's fast. That's quick.
Another day older and deeper in debt.
It's not sustainable debt. That's the problem. It's not like it was 10 years ago, even. So we're getting to levels that I don't believe are sustainable. So, we're seeing all these fracture points that could go at any minute, any time. And I think all these predictions that are coming out that are saying, Biden, they're hoping, because then all of a sudden you're going to have all these people that were right on. Forget all the times that they were wrong. all these same analysts that are saying, in the next, how many days, we're going to have the markets will collapse and so forth. Forget all the times they've predicted these things and they were all wrong. Nobody ever remembers those times except me. Except me. But because I don't think anybody knows. But we're certainly seeing the fractures, and we're certainly seeing, you can almost feel it being sped up. Something is going to break. I don't know if it's this month. I don't know if it's next month.
Or this year or next year, but we just know it can't keep going.
We don't know if they're going to we don't know if they're going to shut the government down at the end of this week. No one's talking about that.
Well, doggone it. Every time we turn around, they're threatening to shut the government down.
It isn't the point of shutting the government down. The point is that our budget, the spending bill, can't get done. I mean, and it's so big. That's the issue. It's not a matter whether they shut the government or down. It's what they're trying to, it's just, I don't know.
I was being sarcastic, because every time you turn around, they've got this up there. It's up one more time. Well, we got to make a decision whether we're going to shut it down. And it's like a big deal. And of course, it's not right now. They're not making a big deal out of it. And there might be a reason. There's always a reason that those distractions are there.
They talk about the $1+ trillion since September.
Mm.
They don't want to talk about the $21 trillion in debt.
Yeah.
They refocus on tax cuts. They refocus on tariffs. They refocus on the distractions. Facebook. So, there's a lot of things that are going on, and maybe independently, one would be able to survive. But when you have all these other things going on at all the same times and adjustments filtering through, I think we live in, financially, we live in very dangerous times. I heard someone talk about cryptocurrencies. Yesterday there was and I don't have this information, I'm just going from memory. There was, and when you're over 60,
careful now.
I mean over 39, your memory has a tendency to go. But there was a ban on cryptocurrencies here in the citizens of the United States, that you can't get involved in any of Venezuela's cryptocurrency that's backed by oil. And I actually heard someone talk about the cryptocurrencies where, government would have their own blockchain and offer an exchange of people who own cryptocurrencies to, the U.S. government's cryptocurrencies. And I don't buy that.
Well, this says,
why would the government help?
You don't think they want to help? Well, this said that I've got a little article on that, and it says that President Donald Trump on Monday signed an executive order banning any U.S.-based financial transactions involving Venezuela's new petro cryptocurrency. It says that the petro is a desperate effort by a corrupt regime to defraud international investors. Investing in the petro should be viewed as directly supporting this dictatorship and its attempts to undermine the democratic order in Venezuela. So Trump's order bars all transactions related to provisions of financing for and other dealings in by a United States person or within the United States any digital currency, digital coin, or digital token issued by Venezuela. That's pretty, I don't know if that hurts Venezuela or not, but I would think it did.
Well, it's threatening the petrodollar. That's why. That's the problem. It's threatening the petrodollar. And you can't have that. I mean, you talk about, the rest of the world and, and the governments and so forth. Where is Venezuela any different? They really only got killed when the oil prices dropped down to, $25. And because, they couldn't, sustain their debt anymore. They got some of the richest oil reserves in the world. So, they can't be they're just threatening the petrodollar. Mm-hmm. I was just talking about the cryptocurrencies in general. as far as those who invest in them. I do believe there is a system that the what's his name? Not Alibaba. His last name is Ma, from China, who has the same kind of company that Bezos does, Amazon. Is it Alibaba? Is the same as
I don't know. I'm drawing a blank too.
Is the same as Amazon, but in China. And he wants to open up the markets so independent businesses can sell around the world. But the problem is currency. And this is why I believe this big focus is on cryptocurrencies. To give people, a venue to sell their wares around the world. And you have to have those currency exchanges and so forth. So, and I think that's what they're working on. I mean, I don't know, but I think, it's a big push from that end of the world. You see Jeff Bezos, he's looking to open up a bank. And you already see Jeff Bezos and Amazon. You have a lot of independent businesses that sell through Amazon. So why would you want some sort of a, cryptocurrency that, these businesses can go on their own and do business worldwide? Maybe you wouldn't need Amazon as much. I mean, I don't know, but I'm thinking there's probably changes going, in that route somewhere, somehow. I mean, this is just theory right now. It's just, discussing. I'm not saying, that's what's happening, but it gives me reason to believe that, somehow, some way, these cryptocurrencies. But I believe the cryptos, the blockchain, was created by government. Just like anything else, these programs are always created by government. I'm just not so sure that, the government would offer people to get out of Bitcoin, because I also read that, people who truly, the big money in all of these cryptocurrencies aren't individual investors. I mean, they're banks, they're central bankers, they're corporations, multi-corporations. It's drug money. It's other type of money, and the bulk of those funds going into these cryptocurrencies isn't from the individual investor or the United States citizen. I mean, people probably have some money invested, $2,000 here, $3,000 there, and of course there's probably some big purchasers on an individual basis, but on a percentage, I don't know what it is. I think it's a little bit low, but. So anyway, do we have a caller, I believe?
We do. We have Ari in Utah. Ari, how are you today?
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Listen, I found something on the Internet a couple of days ago off of Steve Quayle's website. He seems to cover the Middle East pretty well. Anyways, it has to concern Syria with Russia in our country. And I definitely think this could affect anything. But anyways, I guess Russia's been saying that they're concerned about a Tomahawk missile cruise strike over there in Damascus, where their military are based. And so we've got this country. We've got I think it's a Theodore Roosevelt, a carrier strike task force in the Persian Gulf with a destroyer in the Red Sea. And so anyways, they've got probably a good 8, 10, 12 dozen warships over there. And the Russians have brought in 3 of their real new frigates armed with cruise missiles to attack submarines over there in the Mediterranean Sea. And they also have got their nuclear long-range strategic bombers, their 95 Bears and their T-160 Blackjack long-range strategic nuclear bombers on high red alert. And the amazing thing is I haven't heard a word about this on any sorts of news at all, anywhere. Mm-hmm. And so, anyways, probably nothing will happen, but you never know. As unstable as this world is today. And so, anyways, I think if that would go, that would definitely affect our economy, I think.
Well, I think one of the best websites out there is antiwar.com. And it's one of the best when it comes to looking to see what's happening around the world militarily and so forth. They got some great reports on there and so forth. And it is building up over there, and you're right, no one is talking about it. You have Turkey. They're looking to widen a bigger offensive against the Kurds, the Syrian Kurds. Yep. You've had Israel bombing Syria.
Yep.
For years. I know for sure because when last year, when the gas attack, they said that Assad did it. But, Israel was in there bombing, and I figured Israel did it, whether by mistake or accident. But they were in there. They're not in there monthly, but they're in there bombing periodically. And we see the relationships changing, and we see, I agree, there is something that's building up. And it's the United States is claiming that ISIS is rebuilding in Syria. And we know the commitment out of Washington to go after ISIS. We've known the commitment from the various administrations to get Assad out of there. So yeah, I think it's a very dangerous, very
volatile, very.
So anyway, right. We need to be paying attention. I listen to a lot of news and on the radio, probably too much, but it seems that a lot of it's just gone so political,
Yeah.
With all this stuff that's we pay so much attention to, like this FBI stuff with Comey and it's all the focus is just for the most part it's always the same thing, and there are things going on all over the world. Like, for example, real quick, China now. They're coming out with some, a new computer-embedded chip. They're like full-blown up and running with this, how they grade you on this social score system over there. They're really doing some things over there, So anyways, it's just we have to pay attention and be kind of vigilant, because the world is a big place. And there's things going on all over the world that are kind of like one day they're going to be huge factors in what affects us and how that impacts us.
I agree with you 100%.
So thank you, Ari.
That's about all I got. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Ari. Thank you. He makes
to be reminded.
He makes a good point. I mean, you have, and nobody can deny that China doesn't have big amounts of debt. But they seem to be spending their money in a lot different than trying to keep their stock market high. Their money isn't being funneled into Wall Street, and their money is building infrastructure. Their money is being spent on making agreements around the world independently of trade agreements. So they are spending it differently. Does it make a difference when debt gets to the problem that it's not sustainable? Yeah, I think it does. It does make a difference of how quickly they'd be able to bounce back if they had some sort of a collapse. You have, the president of China. Hey, he's president of China forever now, as long as he wants to be. Changing the Constitution. He just recently, last week, changed their major central banker. He was 70 years old. He's been in place. He's helped China grow. He's built the relationships. He's strengthened the yuan. So it is a competing currency in the world. Got into, so you just replace someone like that. at the same time that you changed your Constitution. They have plans.
Yeah, they do.
What are our plans? Hoping someone out there can buy our debt.
We're gonna establish another special counsel. That's our plan.
You know, what is our plan? Tell me.
Yeah.
And
I just told you. Special counsel. It's sad. It really is. It's sad that we have no vision.
No.
There's no vision for the United States of America, you know. They made fun of Trump for Make America Great, and Hillary goes to India and insults every female in the United States of America. She's trying to back that train up, and that's been even more of a train wreck because she keeps bumping into other things. But, yeah, we have nothing. I mean, we're just a messed up.
We're just floating.
I have there was a little book. There was a book, it was by Berenstain Bears book, when my kids were little, and that's the way I see our nation right now. And it was called Inside, Outside, Upside Down. We have no clue where we are, where we're going, or what we're doing.
No.
That's the way it appears to me. So we're chasing all these distractions, and, you know, but what are we gaining? We're not gaining anything. What are we gaining? Nothing.
The only reason, you know, of course, it's not the only reason, but we still have consumers in this country.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And how long is that going to last? You know, you give more tax cuts, who pays the revenue? Where's the revenue? Oh, okay, the tariffs. If you're going to put tariffs, put tariffs. I agree with tariffs. I understand the philosophy behind them and how it protects the nation. But if you're going to do them, do them.
Yeah.
You can't pick and choose. It's a beginning.
It is.
But what impact does it have?
It's a lot of rhetoric right now. Everybody's using the word tariffs now. You know, nobody wanted to talk about tariffs.
We talked about tariffs on my financial program a very long time ago, saying that we needed them. Mm-hmm. We needed them. And that's what government needed to do. No one else does. And then they don't use it now in a friendly way. But again, when we have tariffs, when we do make these changes, they might be good for the future, but I don't think, you know, you're going to see an immediate good response from them. You know, there's going to be pain before there is gain.
Well, I hear music, so there's going to be a commercial break before we can come back. So, you're listening to Power Talks with Melody and Beth Ann in the morning. The number to call, 717-300-1218. That's 717-300-1218. And Melody and Beth Ann, we'll be right back.
Hear it first on FirstAmendmentRadio.com and FirstAmendmentRadio.net. Since the beginning of time, kings have sought it, nations have fought for it. It has been traded, it has been borrowed, it has been purchased, it has been stolen. There's a reason for it. To secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and to our posterity. Invest with the security of gold and silver. Call Discount Gold and Silver Trading at 1-800-375-4188 or visit discountgoldandsilvertrading.net. Listen to Financial Survival with your host, Melody Cedarstrom, right here on FirstAmendmentRadio.com at 4 p.m. Eastern or 1 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit DiscountGoldandSilverTrading.net or call Discount Gold and Silver Trading at 1-800-375-4188. Toll free, 1-800-375-4188. The program you are listening to is 100% sponsored by you, the listener, on this First Amendment Rights Media channel. You will notice that there are few commercials on this radio network. There's a good reason for that. Corporate advertising dollars come with strings that limit program content. So without your help, these programs cannot continue on Internet or our several affiliates. If you benefit by the educational law programs, we ask you to give. If you are admonished or nurtured by the Bible and ministry programs, we ask you to give. If some voice a cause that you are passionate about, we ask you to give. If you believe in any of these, we ask you to support them as you would a missionary on a continual basis, as if giving a tithe for missionary radio. These programs are not commercially viable and must be supported by those faithful to the cause of truth. Look for the button to sponsor your favorite programs at our listen and schedule pages on the Internet. Then, when you subscribe, we will send you the last quarterly MP3 CD of that program immediately, and continue to do so with each new quarter. We will also give you unlimited archive access to all of our programs. We're asking you to give much less than a tithe, so that you may also send support directly to a particular program host, cause, and anywhere else the Spirit may lead you. Do all to the glory of our God and Creator, for His holy nation, the only kingdom that will last forever. Thank you for listening. Hear it first on FirstAmendmentRadio.com and FirstAmendmentRadio.net.
90% quarters, brilliant uncirculated, $25 face value. We're going to include a 1/10 ounce American Gold Eagle, $470. If you include 2 packages, if you purchase 2 packages or more, we'll include free shipping. So it's $25 face value, 90% quarters. They're just beautiful quarters. And since the premiums got so low on the 90% silver, I love selling the brilliant uncirculated because they're beautiful coins and you're really getting something. And again, the premiums that you're buying the coins for is the same price as what circulated used to sell for a year ago. So it's a great, great deal. Get it now while you can before the prices and the premiums increase. And the $25 face value means you're getting 100 coins. $25 face value of quarters and a 1/10 ounce American Gold Eagle, $470. So give us a call at 1-800-375-4188. That's 1-800-375-4188. And I'm going to encourage all of you to visit the website at dgscoins.com, dgscoins.com, and make sure you sign up for our weekly newsletter. You're going to see a lot of changes on the website. We're actually seeing a computer person. This is my 3rd computer person. But number 3, 3rd time's the charm.
That's what they say.
And hopefully we can get something. We're everybody's going to media. Everybody likes videos. I prefer to read. I hate watching videos. I prefer to read. I want to read the articles. I don't want to listen to some. But video is so powerful. So YouTube is very powerful. And, and we're going to head in that direction. So I'm very excited about it. We're going to be expanding in that area. And it's I guess, the wave of the future. I guess. As long as our power grid stays up and functioning, it's the wave of the future. So
YouTube.
Hopefully we don't have any EMP attacks and, to where we lose power. And I think what really steered me in this direction is I just hear, and I'm not criticizing anyone, but I hear a lot of misrepresentation, disinformation when it comes to gold and silver, the ideas, the theories, and it's like people have just gotten so far away from the basics, and maybe people don't want to hear about the basics, the fundamentals. But any hard times that you go through, what do? You get back to basics, and that's not going to change.
Well, isn't that what we were just saying? We don't have a plan. Does the United States not have a plan because they think they've grown so big that they don't need a plan? And yet we know that we've gone backwards. Our currency is fiat. It doesn't have any backing. The
reason there's no plan is because you plan usually for the future. And we don't have a future. I mean, how many times, there's one thing that you do hear on all these, financial programs and alternative media and so forth, all of this debt's going to be given to our children and grandchildren. They're going to have to pay for it. So what future do they have when they're paying for our debt that we're being created today? So you plan when you have a future. And without planning, they know there's no future. Their plans are when this system collapses and they usher in a new currency. That's, that's when what they're planning for. That's why we don't see the plans to our infrastructure or plans that we see other countries making and so forth. And that's just my observation.
Opinion?
My observation. Yes.
Well,
everyone has an opinion.
Give your package again.
$470, $25 face value, 90% quarters, brilliant uncirculated, plus a 1/10 ounce American Gold Eagle, $470. And if you purchase 2 or more packages, then we can make it free shipping. So it is a great deal. And the 90%. It's a great way to be buying your silver. It's probably the most cost-effective now for the quality of product that you can buy. And, of course, the 1/10 ounce American Gold Eagles. I know a lot of folks are selling those grams and so forth. And to me, they're just not no one knows what a gram is. So why would you want a gram over something that's minted by the United States government? And yes, I hear the corruption in our government and so forth, but, how do you know where those grams are coming from? Oh, they're coming from Germany. Really? Germany is any different than the United States? So, the corruption runs wide and deep. So
D.C. isn't the only one with a swamp.
No, you're right. And if you're really concerned about the modern issue coins, then pick up some pre-33 coins. You can get some fractional $5 liberties. You can get some 5 and 10 liberties. You can get some 5 and 10 Indians. If you want the $20 gold pieces, you can go, and therefore they're all certified, guaranteed to be what they are. No one can tell you any different, that they're not what the coin is graded for. We use 2 companies for the certification. It's NGC and PCGS. They're recognized worldwide. They certify, true rare coins, and they certify generic. And I believe in getting into some of the generic coins. Particularly, we have 20-year premiums at lows, 20-year low premiums, and everything reverses. Everything goes back, and that's what reality is all about. It's all relative. And so these premiums will be regained. They will be recaptured. And I think a lot of people are a little worn out with gold because they're hearing people who are saying, well, gold's not. Why would you want gold? It hasn't done anything for blah, blah, blah. You've only made 10% in the past 7 years. And it's like we've gone away from keeping what we have to wanting these $1 million returns. We all want to go to Vegas with $10 and we want to walk away with a couple million. Well, in the real world, that doesn't happen. It might happen to 1 or 2, but reality is it doesn't happen to.
Or Vegas would still be there.
or Vegas would still be there. You're absolutely.
Everybody was getting rich.
Vegas was getting rich. But it's the excitement. It's okay to keep what you have. It's okay to earn 10% over how many years. It's okay to keep your purchasing power intact, because that's what it's all about, is keeping your purchasing power intact. Cryptocurrencies aren't going to do it. You want to speculate? Go speculate. But if anybody would sell their gold to buy cryptos, I don't understand why. Because I think, I just can't figure that point out yet. And unless you are a trader, a true financial trader, and you think you can make some gains on some quick turnarounds and so forth, But the majority of people put their money in there and they wait for the prices to go up. And those are the ones who lose. The ones who can least afford it are the ones who lose the most. And it's usually the same way when it comes to your financial, your retirement accounts and so forth. But 800-375-4188. That's 1-800-375-4188. And I always, it always happens, Beth. So many people I hear it all the time. I don't like to hear it. It makes me feel bad instead of good, is when people come to me and tell me, I wish I had listened to you. Doesn't make me feel good.
No.
But I hear it day in and day out.
It's one thing you don't like to say is I told you so, because we're trying to lead people in a way that we think will help them. And that's what we're here for. That's why Discount Gold and Silver Trading is still reaching out. Melody takes great pains to reach out to people on this show. She's a regular guest and sponsor on my show, CSC Talk Radio. She has financial survival.
Say it 3 times fast.
I can't even say it 1 time fast or slow. And so she's, do I hear music?
You have an out.
I have an out. I hear music. Get out of this mess. Melody, we will see you back here tomorrow morning.
Right.
And we will see all of you in the snow on the second day of spring.
Yes.
You all have a great day.
Bless.
Visit crosstheborder.org, CROSS, crosstheborder.org, to get your print, EPUB, or PDF version of Nicholas Arthur's new book titled When the Third Temple is Built. That's crosstheborder.org. When it comes to prophecy today, much of the evangelical Christian world has their eyes on Israel, waiting and watching to see when the third temple will begin to be built. The plans are drawn. The Jewish people are eager. Most evangelical Christians today believe that the rapture will happen before the third temple is built. Hi, I'm Michael Eugene. I was taught that Daniel's 70th week was in the future. Is that really what the Bible teaches? Have we searched the Scriptures and found this to be true? Why is it so important for a re-established Israel to build a third temple in Jerusalem? Is it necessary to build a temple on the same location already occupied by the Dome of the Rock? Is it necessary for sacrifices to take place in the temple on Temple Mount? Is there really a rapture followed by 7 years of tribulation? What is the New Testament temple? Can we identify history and prophecy? Who is the first beast in Revelation chapter 13? Who are the 7 kings in Revelation 17? I have asked all these questions, and I have found Nicholas Arthur's new book, When the Third Temple is Built, answers all these questions and more using Scripture to interpret Scripture. The Bible says that no prophecy of Scripture is of any private interpretation. Nicholas shows us in his new book, When the Third Temple is Built, how the Bible interprets prophecy and not man's private interpretation. Visit crosstheborder.org, CROSS, crosstheborder.org, to get your print, EPUB, or PDF version of Nicholas Arthur's new book titled When the Third Temple is Built. That's crosstheborder.org.
The book of Revelation says, the spirit of prophecy is the testimony of Jesus Christ. This is at the very heart of FirstAmendmentRadio.com. In that spirit, we have created the Prophecy Reality News app for all of your mobile devices, streaming First Amendment Radio 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Available for your Apple, Android device, and smartphone, absolutely free. Get the Prophecy Reality News app installed today, so you can listen to First Amendment Radio wherever you are. The Prophecy Reality News app. Get it now.
Since the beginning of time, kings have sought it, nations have fought for it. It has been traded, it has been borrowed, it has been purchased, it has been stolen. There's a reason for it. To secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and to our posterity. Invest with the security of gold and silver. call Discount Gold and Silver Trading at 1-800-375-4188 or visit discountgoldandsilvertrading.net. Listen to Financial Survival with your host, Melody Cedarstrom, right here on FirstAmendmentRadio.com at 4 p.m. Eastern or 1 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit discountgoldandsilvertrading.net or call Discount Gold and Silver Trading at 1-800-375-4188. Toll free, 1-800-375-4188.